Losing Myself in You by DNA. Bittersweet, smoothly melting in my mouth. The memory of chocolate whispers in my mind as I awake. I normally don't care much for sweets, but I find myself wanting more. Getting out of bed, I walk to my desk, sifting through the Valentine's cards and candy until I can find the tin of homemade chocolates. Absently, I open my mouth, placing a chocolate heart on my tongue, closing my eyes as bliss spreads from my taste buds through my whole body. It's as if needs I never knew of are suddenly being fulfilled. The lingering taste, a whispered promise of so much more to come. I don't know what Chelsea put in these, but damn, I need to see her today. Because I don't want to run out of this. It really is the best feeling I have ever felt. My phone buzzed with my morning wake-up text from Tyler. "Good morning, sexy. Can't wait to see you." Stopping mid-reach for the light screen, I realized that I needed to piss like a racehorse. When nature calls, you can't just ghost nature. The wood floor felt cold against my feet as I walked down the hall to the bathroom. By the time I made it in, all my focus was on simply holding back the building pressure. Fishing my dick out of my fly, then relaxing into the wonderful fill of sweet relief as the yellow stream arced into the porcelain god, accompanied by the soothing sound of flowing water. This is truly the best way to start your day off. After making my offering to the porcelain god, I tucked my dick away and went to look for breakfast. Just like my personality, I like my food spicy. Pulling out leftovers, I gave them a couple of nice shakes of hot sauce. After reheating the dish in the microwave, I sat down to eat. A couple of bites in, my mouth was burning like crazy. My nose started to run and tears formed in my eyes. Rushing to the fridge, I practically ripped the lid off the milk jug before desperately swallowing as much of the soothing liquid as possible, straight from the jug, trying to put out the flames. When the burn calmed down enough for me to function, I went over to look at the hot sauce bottle, picking it up to examine the thing. It was the same one I had been using all week. What the hell? I guess I'm just sensitive to spicy food today. My phone buzzed with my morning wake-up text from Tyler. "Good morning, sexy. Can't wait to see you." Stopping mid-reach for the light screen, I realized that I needed to piss like a racehorse. When nature calls, you can't just ghost nature. The wood floor felt cold against my feet as I walked down the hall to the bathroom. By the time I made it in, all my focus was on simply holding back the building pressure. Fishing my dick out of my fly, then relaxing into the wonderful fill of sweet relief as the yellow stream arced into the porcelain god, accompanied by the soothing sound of flowing water. This is truly the best way to start your day off. After making my offering to the porcelain god, I tucked my dick away and went to look for breakfast. Just like my personality, I like my food spicy. Pulling out leftovers, I gave them a couple of nice shakes of hot sauce. After reheating the dish in the microwave, I sat down to eat. A couple of bites in, my mouth was burning like crazy. My nose started to run and tears formed in my eyes. Rushing to the fridge, I practically ripped the lid off the milk jug before desperately swallowing as much of the soothing liquid as possible, straight from the jug, trying to put out the flames. When the burn calmed down enough for me to function, I went over to look at the hot sauce bottle, picking it up to examine the thing. It was the same one I had been using all week. What the hell? I guess I'm just sensitive to spicy food today. Well, it's usually hard to put me off my 18-year-old appetite. I find myself no longer hungry after that little incident, though. Returning to my room to get ready for the day, I picked my phone up to message Tyler back, when I noticed it had passed away. I forgot to charge it last night. Deciding it could charge while I showered and dressed, I made my way through my morning routine. It wasn't until I was walking out of the house that I got this itch like I was forgetting something important. Panicked, I dropped my backpack, rushing back to my room, searching frantically for what I nearly forgot. My eyes scanned the room, landing on the little red tin sitting open, with perfect chocolate hearts sitting nuzzled inside. Reaching out, I quickly grabbed one, plopping it into my mouth, letting the bittersweet god of goodness slowly melting in my mouth. Placing the lid back on the tin, I paused, thinking of anything else I was forgetting. After a moment, I dismissed it. I really need to talk to Chelsea when I see her at school. With that thought set in my mind, I headed out. Making it to my car, it came to me that my phone was upstairs in my room. Thoughts of rushing back and just being late for class ran through my mind. I tasted a hint of bittersweet chocolate, dismissing the ridiculous urge with the realization that humans survived lifetimes without a phone. I comforted myself that I could make it through a single day. "Are you okay?" Tyler asked. That he was touching my shoulder so openly in class betrayed his level of concern. "I'm fine," I lied, forcing a smile I didn't feel. The truth was, something felt off all day. No, if I were being completely honest, the feeling started sometime yesterday, but has only grown stronger with each passing hour. Tyler very deliberately let his eyes drop to my bouncing knee under my desk. For the briefest of moments, everything was right in the world. This was why I loved him, no matter if he thought it might start a fight between us later. I could always count on him to call me on my bullshit. "Later," I mouthed as the bell to begin class rang, and my knee started bouncing once more. The longer I sat, the emptier I felt. Everything empty. Head empty, body empty, soul empty. Everything empty. The bell rang, and before I could even think, I was gathering my things on autopilot and walking to my next class. Just as I was about to turn from the hall into the room, I was stopped by the overwhelming taste of bittersweet on my tongue. My body moved to look behind me, and there she was down the hall. I couldn't take my eyes off of her. My heart started to race like 1,000 horses on an open plain. I found myself moving to catch her before she could disappear into her class. Seeing me move towards her, Chelsea's cheeks flushed. "Good morning, Alex." Reaching out to take her hand, I kept walking, pulling her along after me. She followed without a fight, her words coming back breathless. "What's going on? Where are we going?" she asked as we passed Tyler in the hall. Those were very good questions. What am I doing? Where am I taking her? "You need to come with me. There are things more important than class right now," I said, leading her to my car. The bittersweet taste in my mouth grew. Chelsea smiled getting into my car, and my body smiled in return. I still don't understand what I'm doing or why. Driving one-handed was something I never did, and yet I couldn't make myself let go of her. I just needed to be touching her. I blinked to find myself pulling into the driveway of my house, the sickening taste of chocolate all I could taste. Wordlessly, she followed me up the stairs to my room. Closing the door, I finally let go of her hand, moving over to the heart-shaped box. Opening the tin and retrieving the last chocolate heart, placing it in my mouth. The taste was overpowering. Eyes closed, I let the ecstasy wash over me, letting it take me over. I normally hate sweets, but I don't know if I can handle never tasting this again. Opening my eyes, I look at Chelsea, my body moving on its own as I press my lips to hers, letting our tongues explore each other's mouths. What the hell am I doing? I breathe her in. Her breath is bittersweet, and it sets my head spinning with need. I've never been with a girl, or even interested in girls before. Yet I can't stop. Why can't I stop? Do I want to stop? The hands that were once mine are now moving on their own, as clothes begin to come off, piling on the floor. I pull away, trying to stop what's happening, but not succeeding as my body works against my will. "Why are you crying?" she asks, a look of concern on her beautiful face. I don't want this. Any of this is what I want to say. Because you are the only thing I want. You make me so happy. A stranger's words from my throat. She kisses me, and it tastes of chocolate. A stranger's words, yet from my throat. She kisses me, and it tastes of chocolate. And all life becomes a blur of bittersweet and soft, warm flesh. When my eyes open, I find her sleeping next to me, and a stranger's hand begins to trace across her side, feeling the warmth of her body. I don't know what's happening. I don't even know who I am anymore. I need help. I force my body up, grabbing my phone as I head to the bathroom. Sitting there, I see all the missed calls and messages from Tyler. I open my messages to reach out to him. In desperation, I try to force my fingers to message him, to tell him how lost and alone I feel, how helpless, how I need help. A bittersweet taste on my tongue. I watch helplessly, trapped, as a stranger's hands move to block and delete him from my phone, taking him out of my life. I want to rage, to scream, to cry. The body stands up, heading back to my room. I watch as an arm gently brushes a lock of Chelsea's hair away from her face. She wakes to look up at me. She smiles as the stranger says, "I love you. I love you always. I'm yours." I have never been so happy in my entire life. Someone, anyone, please help me. I'm still here. trapped inside. Tyler, please find me. Please save me.